Well, it is Neil Raybone, one of the home favourites that's going to get us underway tonight. We do have a good crowd, as Jordan said. He's got a lot of support down with him, for him and Ricky, both play at the same club. And they are going to get the first opportunity. These matches are fast and furious. 20 minutes on the match clock, and it's a race to 4 as we see a brutal in-off for Neil. And whatever comes first, really. If the clock runs out, the scoreline is the scoreline. 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw. Whoever finishes top of the group once everyone has played everyone will make it through to the semi-finals in just over a month's time. And it really is a group where just do not know which way this one's going to go. Through the first 16 weeks, we feel like we've always had a favoured partnership, but tonight it's so tough to tell. And it's going to come down, I feel, to who makes the fewest mistakes and who gets the most chances.
Yeah, and I think everyone's still going to be a little bit wary of the new tables. You know, we're all still kind of getting used to them. So, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't think none of these teams really can hang around, are they? So much. I think if anything, you know, if you're probably on paper in terms of pace of play and flow of play, you'd have to say probably Neil and Andy are the more methodical of the 4 pairings.
They are, but there's something comforting for them about playing at the shorter shot clock. I've spoken to Neil about that many times. He prefers playing at the shorter shot clock. Wow, they're in trouble here. That was Ricky just came up short on his positional shot, causing Jordan to have to play into the yellow. And it's going to put pressure on Ricky to come up with something off a cushion here. The problem is, if he makes it, where's the 8 ball going?
I think he might sneak to left middle.
He'll go close to making this. I mean, he should do. Oh, it's not going to drop. And if it did go to left centre, they were plumb on it. Chance goes for Jones and Shepherd, and Blurton will play his first shot here. And it's not the easiest counter here.
No, I think I'd certainly be tempted here to take a couple of yellows off the table and maybe land a really tight snooker just to come to the table the next time. Especially where the 8 ball is as well. It's in one of them areas where you've not got a lot of space to manoeuvre around it. It seems ever so surreal from this side of the camera. Obviously, I played at the last Pro Series, and I mean the tables are obviously a lot quieter than they used to be, but I'm used to hearing that clang in your ear.
They don't make anywhere near as much sound. They still do make a little bit, but not compared to what we're used to, which is from a broadcast perspective is fantastic. At some point they're going to have to deal with these 2 yellows at the top. They're just awkward enough, and obviously the biggest issue will be the 8 ball. If they get there, they've got to play a good positional shot onto it. No guarantees to get there.
I think there's a great chance now just to open these 2 yellows up that are tied up and bring the cue ball over towards the middle of the table, block the path. I think that's what I'd be doing. You obviously see it differently here.
Depends how good a snooker that would have been, doesn't it? Because if they get the full ball, it actually then becomes a difficult ball to hit because of across the diagonal. It's not a nice shot then.
Now what they've done is obviously put that yellow on the top rail. And with these pockets being tighter, you'd kind of sometimes fancy, leaving yourself a bit of distance between any kind of shot on the rail. And the old tables, and they would probably drop in. Whereas these new tables, they're a lot tighter. You have to be a lot more accurate, which is a good thing for the sport. Doesn't make it any easier for us players.
No, it doesn't. But Jordan just pointed. I'm going to say this because Jordan just pointed out the Z shot here. He made one of these en route to winning the Pro Cup way back when 2.5 years ago. That was a special shot. It's a similar shot here, but it doesn't look like it's quite available. But we'll see.
It wasn't far off.
I was expecting it to slide a little bit more, but I think on this new table it doesn't slide as much.
No, they're more square. Yeah, for sure. They are a lot more square. He came very, very close to that.
Yeah, I just think on the previous tables, I think you can't get that line because the second cushion slides way too much. And, that one was definitely on. Doesn't change things here for Neil and Andy. They've still got a challenge to get out, but it's slightly easier than it was before.
Yeah.
touch short. If they were playing the plant, maybe would like to have been a little bit more behind it.
Yeah, it is a touch short.
Depends how they see. Well, they're going to go this way first, so trying to get behind the plant. This, to me, this stops them from being guaranteed to have a good angle to get on the 8-ball.
Yeah, that's a nice shot though. Brought the cue ball closer to the cushion, so he can bring the cue ball now slightly towards along the bulk line, if you like, just to leave a nice angle. So a little stun shot here. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, so see how he's just left a little angle now, so he's got a big space to play in here.
He's left a perfect angle, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Come across the diagonal now, and there's loads of room to play with all of a sudden for Neil.
If anything, I think he wants to, if anything, over it this rather than under it. So if he over it, he's definitely going to leave himself a shot. If he under it, he might not do. He's come a bit square there, you know. But if he's absolutely dead behind it, he's had a bit of a result, because he can play the 8-ball onto the red as long as the 8-ball follows it in. For those who are still not 100% sure on the rules, that would be a legal shot in frame 1.
It's not what they're playing for, and it's not what they've got. I was going to say, it did feel like a touch of fortune, because if it comes up a roll short, it makes the shot an awful lot harder for Andy Blurton, but he doesn't make it anyway. And a very interesting opening frame here of the first match from the second stage of the Pairs Cup, and it is Ricky Jones that gets the 8-ball and gives his partnership the lead, and it's used up an awful lot of clock as well.
You can't help but think that the break clear here was...
Almost feels needed.
Yeah.
It's got such a good break, isn't it? Oh, it can't be. It can't be. That's
baffling, isn't it, sometimes?
That may be the best break we see all night.
That might be the best break we've seen the whole tournament.
Yeah.
How accurately is it that? Perfect cueing. Lovely split. No friends, as they say.
Yeah, they were just... Interesting here to see Jordan pull Ricky up for a little bit of advice. Obviously, we talk about this all the time. You are a partnership out there, you can talk, but Jordan's one of the very best players in the world, and his vision for the game is a huge part of that reason. But asking for Ricky's advice on his thinking out there?
Well, sometimes it's not just about that. I mean, you look at any top sportsman in the world, they all have coaches, they all have, you play golf at a good level, they all have caddies. They don't need someone to tell them how to play golf, but sometimes it can just be a little bit of a calming of nerves, just to give you a little, waste a little bit more time, knock your opponent out of the flow. It could be absolutely anything. And of course, from Ricky's point of view, he will think that, yeah, Jordan trusts me, values my opinion, blah, blah, blah. So it can do his confidence the world of good as well. So I don't think it's necessarily always just about the pool itself. I think there's a lot more to it. But that's going into sort of psychology, and we could have a conversation about that all day long, could we?
Happily, we've got about another 2 hours 45 minutes on the show, Jimmy, if you want to really go deep on it. Anyway, whatever, from a psychology standpoint, they have come up short, and it's double from Jordan. Now this is just has to go for Andy Blurton, down into the 7 minutes 20-second range. Scotch frame coming up next. On ball at the top of the table. It's not an awkward ball, but it's a case of getting up for it at the right time and then getting back out. I'd love to have had a touch more angle on the one to top right here, you feel, and then deal with the 3 at the top, then come back down. He's still going to take it.
One thing we might not get so much now is the bang of the cue on the corner legs, I think, because we were so used to kind of playing on the smaller frame tables, even though there's players who was obviously the same size. We had it on the whole table, didn't we? Where everyone used to bang the cue as they walk around. I don't think we're going to get so much of that anymore with the new design, which I've got to say I'm quite happy about that, because the countless times I've sat here with you, Simon, and you've done that, and I've sort of jumped up wondering what's going on.
We've all caught our knees when we're playing and all that sort of stuff from time to time, which sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
No.
How did you break your leg at playing pool?
Now Andy's under pressure here. On the shot up to the top right, he didn't want to overdo it, so he came up just a touch short, which means he's just a little bit more angle on that one than he wanted, because he had a bad angle on the previous one. And all the focus on the pot, and he gets the cue ball wrong.
Yeah. And again, I think it's one of them where we're a little bit, a lot of players a little bit tentative playing them along the rails. You have to be really, really accurate, and the cue ball has kind of become a little bit of the second fiddle with the shot, and it's shown there. He had a big space to land in, but he had to make sure of the pot, and that pot is a lot more difficult now on these new tables. Again, I think it's a great thing.
There's no hiding place.
It's gone through the gap and back through it.
Yeah, there was just nowhere to play safe, so took on a high-risk shot, but knew he had to, and Jordan Shepherd's going to have a second bite at it in this frame. That's been the story of the match so far, really.
He is when he catches up with his chalk. Dropped it and kicked it. I think luckily we have a nice dark arena like the carpet. I think it's a great colour for losing your chalk. It's one of them.
You can't miss it.
You know, you can't miss it.
Strange to hear Jordan talking about how he's a little low on confidence right now, just not quite where he was midsummer, where the World Championship semi-finals, where he looked as good as I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah, it's such a big aspect of it, isn't it? You know, your confidence and your mindset. It's definitely the biggest challenge. I mean, you know, there's not many people in the world who are going to say, "This is how you play pool, Jordan." But in terms of where your headspace is, you know, there's so much that affects it off the table. You know, personal problems, work, whatever it might be. So, you know, and when you're playing at a very elite level, which Jordan does, week in, week out, you know, you need to be in as good a headspace as possible. But it should be pretty straightforward for Jordan. You don't fancy him missing this chance.
No, and we have just ticked into 15 seconds a shot as well. Well, that shouldn't really affect Jordan here. He's got nothing to really think about. And 3-0 with under 4 to play. Great place to be. Just a quick look at the clock on the way up, just to think about, does he run the clock down? Probably should, but he won't. Just gets it done, and 3-0, 3:51 to play. Neil would have expected to counter clear, and Andy absolutely would have felt like he should have got that clearance there. That wasn't too challenging for a player at Andy's level.
Ball's moving. Again, good drive break. Well, lads, there's no time for talking. You need to get on with it here. You need to just trust each other and have a go.
Yeah. You can't overthink this one, because you've got to win 3 frames in 3.5 minutes. A draw would be a fantastic result for them from here. So you might as well risk losing 4-0 and get it done ultra quick. You've got the next break. Can turn around, but it's got to start here with a quick one.
Just needs to be mindful of all the traffic here, Andy. Does go top left.
Probably goes top left and right, but yeah, top left helps, doesn't it? We're going to get onto it into... Well, yeah, I don't like it in right middle actually, because it's so easy to leave it low. That's an excellent shot. It's better than it looks really from Andy, because if you leave it low, then you've got major problems getting on the 8 ball. About 90 seconds for that clearance. Andy and Neil are on the board now at 3-1 and have the next break, but you can't help but feel, and you mentioned it right at the start tonight, that they are, you know, with our group tonight, no doubt about it, that they are more methodical than the others, and you can't help but feel if that was a, you know, Chris Melling and Tom Ford, for example, clearing those up, that might have been probably twice as quick. Dangerous loss of turn here.
Played it well though.
It's just overdone it,
Just
maybe
like.
1 turn. Half a chance here. Benefit for Jordan and Ricky is they have the next break. And obviously, we're going to go well below the 1 minute. It'll only be seconds left if Neil's able to get out here. And they having a break makes a difference. That will be that. It does make the red in the end, but that will be that. Jordan Shepherd will run the clock down here. And Jordan and Ricky are going to take the opening match. Fascinating though how it's played out. It's not exactly been clean. Neither pair will be happy with how they've played. And whilst Ricky and Jordan are going to take the points and put them on the board here, I think they'll both know for them to get through tonight, they're just going to have to raise that level a touch. Gibney, Tom Ford and Chris Melling waiting in the wings. They'll be up next in their first matches straight after our break. I think both pairs will be pleased with what they've seen here. As Jordan tries to run round and make the quick finish in the end. It is job done for the boys from Murphy's Sports Bar. They get the first win. First match of 6 is in the books. Come back after the break where we see match number 2 and see our next 2 pairs get underway. Oh, Craig Waringham is in fine form. Won the most recent Pro Series event, his second title with Ultimate Pool. We've already seen him win on the Monday nights as well. Won the Champions League and went really well with Michael Gibney in qualifying through to this stage. But it is Chris Melling, the mercurial Chris Melling, that gets us underway with an in off the break. A very tough one for him to take as well. Chris is the second most decorated player with Ultimate Pool, behind, and it's probably worth pointing out, significantly behind Tom Cousins, who picked up another 2 titles this past weekend, winning 2 more events out in Morocco. Quite unbelievable what Tom is doing right now. Chris is the second behind him, if you like.
It was the dancing that stole the show for me.
Yes.
Forget the pool from Tom. The dancing it was incredible.
Yeah, celebrations after victory with the local dignitaries out there. Well, on to this match though. It's going to be Michael Gibney and Craig Waringham with the first opportunity, and it's a good one here. Craig just offering up the instructions. Hit that gap. He doesn't need the gap. The other yellow does pass through, which might have been the plan.
I'm a little bit disappointed he's not wearing his hat.
Yeah, I mean,
would we allow that just because the hat was so? I mean, can we do that?
I'm disappointed he's not wearing his hat, and I can honestly say, having just interviewed him about an hour and a half ago, I didn't notice he was wearing the hat, and I'm not sure what that says about me or says about Mike, but I didn't notice the hat on interview.
Well, that answers the question that we had in the studio there, that you said I might make a comeback. I wouldn't if you didn't spot that hat. You've not got much chance at this level if you didn't spot the 4-foot hat on top of his head.
I mean, I was very surprised when I saw it on the screens there. But anyway, he is not wearing the hat, and he's going through this finish rather well with Craig.
Talking about the hat, Tommy Cooper style, and this is a bit of magic from them both, isn't it? Great start.
Just letting that one sit for a second there, Jimmy.
Just as the tumbleweed comes over the screen there. As
the Silver Sniper deposits the 8-ball, 1-0. And that's the first clearance off the break we have seen tonight.
Well, I've had it for the last 3 years. You know, back still out and carrying Danger Mouse, but I'm sure he is listening in. I'm sure he is watching, as he does every single week. Great break.
Okay, this is where Chris Melling needs to go to work.
Not the perfect cue ball, as we say, but the results are saved nonetheless. They've opened up nicely.
He does do that more with his cue ball than most players. Plays that little bit higher on it, and it gets that kind of coming back, and then a little bit of topspin. Trying to park it in the middle, but often see it go the way it has. Now we see the speed start to come in. He plays so quickly naturally. Just has to get nicely on this red on the right hand side. You can't take it for granted. Was he a touch short here?
A little bit short. I think he's okay. I think he just drag this in, almost stop the cue ball where the red is. Yeah, that's fine, I think. It's not as easy as they used to be though.
Still makes it look easy. Floats the cue ball out through the gap as well, and great clearance for Chris Melling, and they're on the board. That's the best of the 3 breaks he's hit. It's going to be dry. That's what he's trying to do with the cue ball. So it comes back with just a little bit of spin, just to sort of park itself essentially in the middle of the table. Really flush contact. It's going to be a tricky layout here for Craig. It looks like he's eyeing up the yellows. The 2 reds above the 8-ball are awkward enough. That makes reds tricky, but the opener for yellows is really tough.
passes. It's not an easy shot, this. He missed one of these. Was it the first frame?
His first individual frame, yeah. This time he gets centre pocket.
Yeah, good shot.
Now it's about trying to get on the yellow next to the 8 ball. Looks like he's getting rid of this yellow bottom right, which makes sense. Get up the table and leave the one by the 8 ball last ball. Might be better if he could have come back another 6 inches or so there. Controls the cannon though to solve that little problem.
Yeah, just a little dink here. Play the one to the middle. Oh no, it's going the other way.
I saw it the same way as you actually, Jimmy, which worries me a little bit. But yeah, the reason I liked it is because if you leave the cue ball in the middle of the table, you've got the thin angle, means tracking the line to the yellow last shot.
It's not very often we're both right in the comms box.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we tell Craig after the night is done. This just means he's screwing across for it, so he has to screw across for the window, but still plenty of room there.
Yeah, I just think this is a more difficult shot. Obviously the middle bag comes into play here. The in-off, I don't think he will get the in-off, but it's a more difficult shot, this for sure.
Plays it beautifully though.
Does he? Ooh, I thought he was going to land in the jaws there. He's played it well.
Yeah, he's only perfect.
Just about perfect.
Yeah. Oh dear. And he misses one the other way round.
See if he'd gone my way, he'd got that.
It's still a very surprising miss. It really is. So now he's missed one on the near jaw and on the far jaw. And what makes that surprising is it's better for him to make, the more centre pocket he goes, the more the cue ball comes out. I mean, he's not going to miss the 8 ball from where he is anyway, but to miss it that way around, he's not trying to pinch the pocket or anything. It's kind of what I'm getting at. It's a very surprising miss. And that is, well, it's monumental on the night, really, isn't it? In terms of now staring 3-2 down. Interesting decisions here for Chris, but he's in complete control of this frame. Not perfect, but chance is now there.
No, it's not perfect. Obviously he has got a chance here to clear these up, and I think he will be going for them, but
now he's in prime position.
If obviously he didn't fancy the job, or he wasn't feeling too confident with where the ball's landed, he could have played another safety shot, maybe another snooker, and took the chance the next time. As it is though, he's now perfect.
This match has fully turned around, hasn't it? Really, Craig and Mike started off with that clearance off Chris's break and looked like at 2-0 up that this is going to be their match, but it's turned around. Chris has got the opportunity here to put them in front with more angle there than he wanted. But
yeah, he didn't hit the best shot the shot before. Let himself too much angle, and he noticed it.
Yeah, he's okay though. He's still 3 balls away from going in front with not very long left on the clock. Does just that. 2.5 minutes to play. Clock will stop now. The balls are being racked, and it'll be Mike against Tom. Powerful break though. Reds are okay. Red at the bottom of the table is really awkward. Tough opening red though. You feel he has to go. No choice there. Oh, he can take it straight, long. That helps. Still not easy. I thought he had to go to the centre, but that's a bit of a wide from Mike.
Yeah, and he's left he's opened everything up now.
The yellows are now good. They weren't before, but they are now.
I think he could have took it to the middle. I think that's what I'd have done. Knowing that the middle pockets play a little bit bigger than the corners, I'd have definitely took that one to the middle.
Looks like Tom's still going to go reds, which are still fine.
Yeah, I think both sets now they're both there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
he's just got more options of getting on the 8 ball with the reds, hasn't he?
Yeah, the transition, isn't it? Is the 2 at the top, then the transition you've got, well, centre of the table you're good on multiple balls, whereas yellows you do have to play one good shot to get down and get from top to bottom. Didn't quite get to the middle of the table though. That's a touch on the short side. Deals with it well though. Thought he might get that little flick in the bottom right corner. Pocket might come into play. But absolutely fine. Now just watch that clock run down.
Yeah, it doesn't need to do anything too heroic here, Tom. Sure.
Job done. They're going to beat the clock. Going to get to 4. It's 4 straight frames for Tom Ford and Chris Melling. They come from 2-0 down to get the job done, and they get themselves 2 points on the board. And they look the strongest pairing so far now that we have seen everybody play one more match. But still, 4 more matches to come tonight. Lots more can happen here at the Pairs Cup. It's the first week of the last 16 from the Pairs Cup. Winner of tonight will make it through to finals night. And right now, the 4 players out in the arena have it all to do. Mike Gibney and Craig Waddingham lost their opening match from 2-0 in front. Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone never really got going in their match. And they lost comfortably in the opening match of the night. Whichever pair wins this match will still feel like their hopes are very much alive, but lose and you are out. So we see Andy hit another brilliant break. It's 2 brilliant breaks he's had tonight in terms of quality. This time the result matches the strike.
Just to show about the first shot, really, he's got a tough opening pot. I think for me again it has to be reds. Maybe cut the one to the left middle if you look at the table, which is what he's looking at. I think the natural angle is to kiss into the other red. Just like that.
Oh, he's actually okay.
He's actually perfect, you know.
Yeah, it could have gone horribly wrong with that extra kiss on the pot. See there, the red still goes left centre, and actually a connection to the one on the cushion. A little bit short here for Andy, you feel. Could have done with being an extra, what, 8 inches across the table maybe? If they were going to go middle, and I suppose you leave the last 2 left centre and bottom left corner, can't you? So get across now. It's important to get there on this shot though.
Yeah, I think I'd have tried to come a little bit closer to my work here, just because something could, if you get a little kick or anything like that, you just leave yourself a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. I don't like it from this angle. You want to be able to drop it in and be straight in bottom left. Now we're going into the yellow, and the cue ball could go wrong here. And I was able to absolutely die it in dead weight.
But again, even this little shot, it's a little dink. It's.
Yeah.
You're not hitting it exactly clean, are you? You're not.
But if he goes a turn pass straight, so an extra 6 inches across the table, then you're dropping that in, and the cue ball goes 6-8 inches further up the table, but you're straight in, and it's a lot easier shot. Credit to Neil though, drops it in. Simple 8 ball coming up for Andy Blurton. Job done. That's their best moment on the night by some distance. 8 balls flying, nowhere near a pocket, but
he gives him a whack, doesn't he?
yeah. I questioned why he was breaking in the Scotch frame earlier on, but this is why. Huge break.
Take that break.
And this is another great chance. This really should be 4 straight off the break here. Players of Craig and Mike's level, this should be fairly routine, and most routine out of the lot. Just the only difficulty there for Craig was he couldn't get Mike in and amongst all the reds. So 1 good pot here, he should be away.
I'll tell you what, have some of that, bang.
That's fabulous. Yeah, he needed to be straight, didn't he? And he actually had 3/4 ball, so I had to fire it in to go in and out of the sweet area, but played that beautifully. Looks like it might be slightly awkward angle here, coming underneath the 8 ball if he screws back. Yeah. Knocks it a little bit closer to the cushion. He doesn't need to worry about that. That's Craig Waringham's problem in a shot's time.
He's missed one into this corner pocket already.
He's missed one into both bottom corners already. This isn't a guarantee. I mean, it should be, but this time it is in. He's missed a couple of, well, certainly one of similar level.
You know, if you're used to going the right way all the time, chances are, you know, you're more consistently going to get them half chances than not. And I think that's the
it allows you to be more consistent, in my opinion. That you know, saying you manage to get the finish isn't everything, because next time you might not be able to execute a couple of the big shots you had to play as well, but it allows you to be more consistent. But I sort of get your point. It wasn't the best of breaks this time from Mike, but he's given himself an opportunity, and this is now an opportunity to win the match thanks to that reverse clearance from the Silver Sniper. Still want to call him Wad, but the new name, the Silver Sniper.
Who came up with the Silver Sniper? Was it him?
I'm assuming it's Wad himself, but yeah. Okay, with the 3-2 lead and under 4, well, just over 4 minutes on the clock, and a horrible layout on yellows, I like that choice. If you chase that finish there and don't get it, you're just making it easy for Andy Blurton. I think that's a fabulous choice. Remember, the draw isn't a brilliant result, so Andy needs to kind of push the boat out here and maybe make it happen. I think Mike should just stand his ground here. Yeah, there we go. Like that. Playing the loss of turn. It may have been the right shot, but is it the right shot for the right time? Could have gone bottom left and played into that ball, and then the one left centre could open up the other one. I mean, I know it's high tariff, but 3.5 minutes to play and you need to win 2 frames. Question the choice. Yeah, that's all Mike has to do.
Well, he'll definitely play the loss of turn again here, I think, Andy. But he needs to get his skates on. This kind of frame isn't really what he wants.
Yeah, you've got to risk losing to try and win. Winning this frame in the time remaining isn't really the result, but it helps. Got to win it quicker than that.
I just don't see the time unless something drastic happens. Actually playing the percentage pool, really.
Yeah, he's playing the right stuff. It's been a really good frame of pool from Mike. No need to do too much here if you might. Just maybe slow roll up to the red on the left-hand side, or the one by the 8 ball. You don't really want to open up either ball.
Yeah, just put it on top of the yellow. Doesn't need to do anything, like say. Yeah, that's the right shot. That's the right shot, 100%. Left nothing simple on.
3-4 visits ago. He just had to be ultra aggressive.
Yeah, I like how Mike's played this frame.
I think it's fabulous. See Ward applauding it. That was, he knows that he's playing the right stuff here at the right time.
That's a great shot. What a shot that is. All of a sudden.
That was fabulous.
All of a sudden.
Don't take nothing away from Mike though. He's still playing the right shots. It's just that was brilliant from Andy.
He gets out here. This has what, 20 seconds, 15 seconds? Golden
Maybe, but what it does more than anything else is it really hurts Mike and Craig.
Yeah, and it keeps them in the tournament for now as well.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps all pairs in the tournament, but it's such... I mean, this has been brilliant from Andy. He just needed it 2 minutes ago.
He needs to worry up, though. He's going to give himself a chance. Is it his break?
It's this their break, so the time now is irrelevant. As long as he leaves a second on the clock, the golden break is the only way that's going to be a winner in this match, unless Andy doesn't make the 8 ball.
I don't like how this is finished, though. It looks thin.
He needs the cue ball to stop. He needs the cue ball to stop. Oh, this is going to be a tough call from our referee. Will we see a break? He says no, it's going to be a draw. Both pairs remain in the competition, and Neil now laughs at it. He knows the mistake was there. Andy just had to do that 1 second quicker, and they would have had a chance for a golden break to maybe steal this one away. I guess they keep their hopes alive. Only just, though. The only way either pair can make it through is through a 4-way 6-red shootout as we move on. Match number 4, the biggest match of the night. Up next, Chris Melling and Tom Ford. They have won their opening match, as have Ricky Jones and Jordan Shepherd. They square off now in match number 4, and a win for either pair here eliminates our other 2 pairs. Waringham and Gibney, Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone with the draw in the last match. The only way they can make it through tonight now is for this match to be a draw, and then for those that get excited by these things, the 4-way 6-red shootout would be live, but this match would have to be a draw for that to be a chance. Whoever wins this match will take control of the group and have the control and qualifying all very much in their own hands, and it is Tom and Chris with the opportunity here.
Have we had a 4-way 6-red shootout?
Not on a Monday night show. We've had 4-way only in a Players' Championship, which was groups of 6. To be in prime position, it's just this next shot, those 3 yellows playing quite big at the top of the table. Playing very big.
It's okay, just I think.
I'm not sure. Chris has deceived me if he's on it. It doesn't look like he's on it, but the way they're talking, he must be.
Slow down. Yeah, it's a perfect shot.
I think the reason for all the extra debate tells us that the red doesn't pass the yellow to bottom right, so they always wanted to leave enough angle to be able to come across the table, rather than just trying to get it out anywhere on that ball gets them good on this one to bottom right. A little bit more thought and care required at the back end, but it's very good. 5 straight frames for Tom Ford and Chris Melling. Come from 2-0 down in their first match to get the win 4 frames to 2. Yeah, I suppose it's more guaranteed, but you'd be playing it from well within the break area, so it becomes a really tough shot. Yeah,
of course, but it was tough regardless.
Yeah,
you know. So
what a break this is from Jordan Shepherd, by the way, and a great opportunity. I have to play the plant first shot on the yellows. He's going to play it before we see the break, because he knows how far he's already played and made it. He knows how far behind they are with the time remaining. 2 down, he needs to get moving.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the cup break, but that was brilliant regardless.
Did he want to be straight?
No, I think he just off straight to go into it here, but
I think he wanted to be straight.
Wanted to be straight, yeah.
Plays that well though, but still has too much angle this time round. Might go to the corner.
Play it to the middle. Obviously, even if he comes too far on this one, which I don't think, I think he plays with check side and just bring it back up.
Oh, beautiful shot. Yeah, tap of the knee from Chris Melling. That was lovely. Flying visit from Jordan Shepherd. He even runs around the table. He knows every second's really important here, and he gets the break clearance, gets his side on the board. That's big. The way they're set up at the top, you can probably leave the right cushion, the one by his hand, as his last 2 balls. Now he's gone up for it now. Do with a bounce. What a shot this is. That's fabulous. Maybe one more turn if we're being picky.
You're very picky.
Yeah, but it's now. What I mean is he's just got that. You know what I mean? He's got that half a turn too much angle rather than just dropping this in. The cue ball might drift too far.
Shot.
Oh, it's not going to drop.
It's just on.
What a big frame of ball on the night here with 3 minutes 50 left to play. Tom and Chris win this frame. They take some control of tonight.
Shot.
Oh, what a shot
this is.
That's fabulous from Chris Melling. That really is. Oh, that's opened up the top drawer. Now he needs the double. Right in the heart. It's 8 ball to take a 2-frame lead with under 3 minutes to play.
Oh, that's the finish of the night.
Absolutely magic from Tom Ford and Chris Melling. That was a very special finish. The shot from Chris was absolutely brilliant to open up. It was so hard to pick that line out.
Come up and pop the yellow over the pocket and clear that pocket. So double-edged sword kind of shot, but phenomenally executed. What a break this is again.
Yeah.
We'll see Jordan here fly around the table here.
Key shot
clear
now.
The pocket. Oh no, is it off? Oh.
That's harsh. That is very harsh for the Welsh Wizard, and that, you feel, could be that for them on the night, or on the match. They're still very much in the night. They're going to need some help though. Gives himself that nice turn of angle just to get on the one on the cushion. Place to break it out. This definitely tells a story about these new tighter tables for Chris Melling to be trying to break that ball out. That was excellent. Tiniest little bit of hope there. If that stays on the table for Jordan and Ricky, with a quick mop-up job from Jordan, and half a chance for a very quick one in the next. But with that dropping in, I feel like that's gone. Even if he misses this ball, it's under a minute, it'd have to be ultra quick and ultra quick again. Doesn't miss it though. He's come up big these last 2 frames, hasn't he?
Yeah, Q's unbelievable. When he's flying, he's just one of the best Qiists of any Q sport we've ever seen. I think we're very lucky to live in a generation of these kind of players, you know, and a phenomenal result for the boys.
Brilliant stuff, it really is. Chris Melling coming up very, very big at the back end of that match. They take complete control of this group. They have half a step into finals night. They've got one more big match to come, and all they have to do is avoid defeat. And we've got a couple more matches still to come. Let's find out who will put the pressure on in our next one. Join us after the break. State of play as it stands right now is Tom Ford and Chris Melling are 2 wins from 2. And they are very much in the driving seat. We have one more match left to play against Neil Raybone and Andy Blurton, who have been eliminated thanks to the result of that last match. Also eliminated on the result of that last match, Craig Waringham and Mike Gibney, which means that only victory here for Jones and Shepherd will put the pressure on. Any other result in this match, and Tom Ford and Chris Melling will already be through. Didn't see that coming at the start of the night, not with it being Tom and Chris, but a pair being able to go through a match early. Doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't, and obviously with this lineup tonight, you sort of felt it was going to be a lot closer, you know, on paper, but like I say, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and nothing surprises you in this format. They have played extremely well. They have looked the better team, truth be told. So.
Mike and Craig will be disappointed that this match isn't a case of winner puts the pressure on. They were in the driving seat in their last match, couldn't quite cling on. It was actually a fabulous clearance from Andy Blurton. Mike played a great frame of ball, just unfortunately Andy came up with a brilliant clearance. Gets away from them. They'll be deflated. They'll still be trying out there, but you know you can't get through. It just takes an edge off. Case though for Ricky and Jordan here to fully focus and try and get themselves the victory that will put the pressure on. And absolutely no guarantees that Tom and Chris will cruise through.
Nice shot. Another shot down the rail.
More angle than was wanted here. Yeah, that's the slight shake of the head there from Jordan. He's got more work. If he's a foot further right, it's drop it in time.
Yeah, Ricky's almost like screwed across the table rather than straight back there. I don't know whether you caught that with a little bit of unwanted side with him punching it in. But he's Jordan's got his work cut out here now, because no matter what happens here,
Do you think he can do the? I mean, he's obviously going to try and play the gap, but I thought he could go natural and try and play both yellows in the same pocket. That's what he has played for in the end.
I'll tell you what, it's a great effort.
Yeah, just a little bit short, because the problem now is getting on the 8. Amazing the difference it makes being half a roll out of position or a couple of rolls out of position. It changes the finish completely.
Yeah, it's a good effort, but it was a big ask.
Big shot required from Jordan then, as they'll be staring 1-0 down. Not to be. Ricky just got a couple wrong there, didn't he? Just not quite on with a couple of shots, causing some issues. And it's an easy mop-up job here for Craig and Mike. To mop them up. Just over 5 minutes gone in this match. Good break from Ricky. Now time to find one. Does he have an opening shot? These yellows are good if he's got an opener.
I'm sure he has, you know. Could chop one on the top rail.
On these tight cushions, tight pockets. This is tough, because if you don't make it, you're just gifting a great chance away. Oh, it's not going to drop for him as well. Just overcut it. And this is now a brilliant chance for Craig Waringham for 3-0. It's amazing how quickly this night has just turned. 3 matches in, we're even whispering 4-way 6-red shootout, and we could be we could be done and dusted with a match to spare. Oh, the Bears Cup, you just never know, do you? Never know what's going to happen.
I mean, there's no ranking points in this event, but finishing 3rd compared to 4th, there is a difference in money, prize money. So it's still a little bit of pressure on for those, you know, even for Andy and Neil.
Oh, they'll still be trying.
They want to
hard,
still try and finish 3rd in the group, which they can.
Did you play the bump on the 8 now here in these new conditions?
Yeah, I think you can do, but then you do run the risk of bumping the 8 in front of the red or on top of the red.
It's not something you'd ever would have even remotely considered before.
No, absolutely not. I suppose it depends how confidently you're queuing. If you're queuing well, probably not. If you're under a little bit of pressure, then yeah, maybe.
So skidded on
a shot here.
Yeah. But he wishes he played the bump now.
He's got to play the bump now. He's got no choice now. But yeah, and there you go. Can he chop this in? I think he can. I think he's just okay.
Oh, it's very thin.
From the overhead, it looks quite simple, doesn't it? But from behind it,
here it looks
a horrible shot.
I'm not sure.
From the overhead, actually, I think it looks really, really easy. It's amazing how deceiving that angle can be.
If it went, he would have played it. Yeah.
But from there, this looks horrible.
Where else does he go with it, though?
No, there's nowhere else to go.
Oh my word! Wow! How on earth?
I think they're just clutching at straws here. Oh my life! What a shot this is!
Oh, that's. I mean, that developing a ball at the top is a little bit of fortune, but still a special shot.
I mean, if that was me there, if I was Jordan, I'd have played position as well. I'll have him about it. Fancy not playing position on that red.
What a shot!
Yeah, it's an unbelievable shot. You're going to need another one here.
Yeah.
frames.
6 minutes left. Not the greatest of counter chances here. Craig and Mike, do they really need to take it on? Probably not. Not sure how you play safe though, that's the problem here. I'm all for playing safe, it's just, can you find a good one? Craig and Mike think not. They're starting to run into trouble. This does cut, but you're likely to make the 8-ball here. I'm sure that's got to be the play. If the red doesn't, he's going for it. What's he going for? Cross double?
Cross double and into the one on the rail. Like that.
Oof. That was tough. Jordan's going to run to the table. Under 5 minutes to play. 15 seconds a shot. They need 4 frames.
It's not particularly easy to get down in your last red either. You know, to especially put position. He's going to chop this in. Another thin cut here. Very thin.
So turning out rather nice here for Tom Ford and Chris Melling, who are going to be playing in our final match of the night, but as it stands right now, will have nothing to do. They will be safely into finals night. They did start the night as the favourites, but it was marginal. They have cruised through. In reality now, the match to spare.
So it doesn't go in the top right-hand pocket as we look at the table. He's got to try and land behind this. Yeah, playing it to the middle pocket. Lovely shot. What a shot that is.
Mike has played well tonight, and they are going to go with them, get themselves up into second place in the group 4 now. John Shepherd and Ricky Jones bow out. And it's a case of, we already know our winners. Chris Melling and Tom Ford are safely through to finals night. They will have a lap of honour coming up next. Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone, their opponents. But it will be a lap of honour for our group favourites. Join us in a couple of minutes. Oh, welcome back. Chris Melling about to get us underway for our final match of the night. All smiles with Tom Ford, as they are already safely through. 2 wins from 2 gives them 4 points in the group. They cannot be caught, and they will be doing a lap of honour. Does not matter what happens in this match. The only real thing to play for, I guess, is the personal pride of another performance. But Neil and Andy Blurton, Raybone and Andy Blurton, have got a chance to tie up second place in the group and give themselves a chance for a little bit more money. So that's probably the biggest thing really on the line here on this final match. Looks like the way that Chris is pointing around the table there, Jimmy, that we may be seeing Chris Melling in exhibition mode here.
Is he ever in any other mode?
Sometimes, not very often. Not very often at all.
To try and stun that down to leave an angle to get the 8 from the rail.
Play this one off the red to do it the other way round. That's what he tried. Now they can have a debrief in the table area. Really hard hard to believe how tonight's gone, Jimmy. And this is why we talk about, you just never know what's going to happen. Beginning of the night, I could not see anything other than something very tight. I thought we were very short odds for a 6-red shootout to be the deciding factor, and it turns out we've got a pair through with a match to spare.
Yeah. I think there's been some great pool tonight. This is obviously the first match I've commentated on the new table, and I think it's great that we now have a different dynamic with the game. You know, a lot of different shots played than what you would usually call, and I think it makes us think a little bit more as well from the studio point of view. So I really enjoyed it tonight. Although I've seen, you know, probably the standards not, I don't think quite been as good as other weeks that I've commentated on. Like I say, the conditions are far more difficult. So from my point of view, it's made it much more entertaining and a little bit of a tougher call.
I think you have to play better pool, don't you? You have to think about things. You have to come up with a better pattern or find some better shots. It's you can't take everything for granted anymore. And obviously we're a small sample size, a few weeks in now, but it's been great to see. Big fan of it so far. And continue.
In a bit of trouble. Not the 8-ball.
Hard to believe he didn't touch the 8-ball. It's a chance gone. So. Second chance at the table then for Tom and Chris. They don't normally need more than a second opportunity. Expect them to fly through these. That's not a particularly good shot from Tom Ford as he turns away in disgust. He's left Chris nothing here. Right, how does Chris get on the 8-ball?
He's laughing here, mind you. He's laughing. Chris is shaking his head and smiling.
Chris should just roll it in and say, "You gave me the problem, Tom. You come up with something."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The fact that they've already qualified, they can have that sort of fun. That's brilliant. That really is. No room to work with. Absolutely plumb. Looking forward to seeing the reaction between the two of them. You can have a good laugh about it. I think Chris is enjoying himself more than Tom for that visit.
Yeah, another tasty group, isn't it? I mean, obviously you'd have Josh Kane and Callum Singleton as probably the clearest favourites, I think, of any of the 4 weeks of the last 16 in that particular one. But again, the format lends itself to anyone doing the business. I like the combination of Danny and Dave. They obviously run their club together. Great friends, which I think stands you in good stead. You trust each other implicitly. You're going to go out there and enjoy it regardless. So that's sort of, it's always nice to have someone who's pretty calming, around you. Cohen, again, one of the up-and-coming players, one of the stars of the future, playing with his dad. And again, Cohen, fears absolutely no one. Plays a lot, and I know his dad plays a lot as well. So, two players that are going to be practicing hard for this event. It will mean a lot, to them to get through. And then obviously, of course, you've got Sean and Ben coming over from Ireland. They don't want to come here, all this way and just make the numbers up. So, another really tasty group. I am going to say even though I was drastically wrong this week, I'm going to give you my pick for next week, and I'm going to say Danny and Dave to go through.
Okay, you heard it here first. But going on tonight's performance, Jimmy.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
I'm not entirely sure. Right now, your pick is in 4th position.
Yeah, I'm
4th out of 4.
I'm not advising that anyone gets straight down to the bookies and sticks their life savings on it. Or, please gamble responsibly for sure.
To me though, Jimmy, and obviously we're in for a bit of a mixy frame here. Potentially a chance though for Andy here, but. What I find interesting about that group, obviously this group feels very stacked. We've got some of the best players in the world, in my opinion, in Craig Waddingham, Jordan Shepherd and Chris Melling. You've got 3, I'm not entirely sure exactly where they sit in the rankings, but you've got 3 of the current top 8 for me, if you like, in terms of current form and what they're doing, all in one stacked section of the. Whereas this one's a lot more open, isn't it? I know that obviously very good players, of course, but what I think is all 8 players there, all 4 partnerships. Well, look at that and think, what an opportunity to make it through to a major final.
Yeah, absolutely
what
right.
a chance.
Yeah, it's you're not here just by pure luck. You're here because you deserve to be here. So it's that sort of awkward in between time, is it? Where if you get to the semis, it's obviously a big achievement for anyone. You got a bit of a kick down here. But you don't want to go out and finish bottom of the group, and obviously it's quite a jump in the prize fund, for every position you finish higher. So it's almost like the tournament starts again.
Yeah, we'll have a little look at the second half of the draw in a minute as well. We'll have a chat through those, and certain Jimmy Croxton will crop up in a minute, which we'll skip over. We are into the final 5 minutes of action here, and it will be the final 5 minutes of action. We know that. There will be no 6 red shootouts, as we already know, in the first semi-finalists.
Let's play that really nicely. Let's play that with a little bit of left-hand side, drag it in as well, cute it nice. And I think if the 8-ball passes to the left middle, does it? It's having a look, it's tight. Might have to screw this back and play the 8-ball into the top right corner as we look at the table. Something like that. Lovely.
Work this one out all really nicely. And it's 2-2. Just under 4 minutes to play. Okay, let's go to the other half of the draw then. Trying to get his partnership in front at the right time here. Double. May well get himself in front. Give themselves a chance to finish second in this group. They'd have to do it with a 6 red shootout at the end. We won't see that, but that's how they'll determine the positions if they win this match.
Shot.
Ooh, could have done with 1 more turn on the cue ball, or 2 more turns would have been even better.
Concentrate on the pot though. Great shot. What a shot that is from Neil Raybone. That is great cueing.
He's not always played his best tonight, but he's turned up with a couple of really special shots in this match.
Oh, he's missed it.
Commentator's curse, if ever there was one. Well, Chris is going to run through this counter clearance. He's got a problem with the yellow at the bottom right. I just want to quickly get it in because we've only got 1 minute and 50 left to play in the match. Our final group does have a certain Jimmy Croxton, my co-commentator tonight, playing with Liam Highfield, Ian Alley and John Joe Sharkey, TJ Bateman and Brandon Flinton. And then you said that there was big favourites. I think this group has a big favourite in it. No disrespect to yourself, Jimmy, but we've got the number 1 player and the number 1 player by some distance with a former number 1 player, Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson. I think there's no arguments from yourself. They will be favourites for that group. I'm sure you'll agree.
Of course, yeah. No, they're absolutely favourites. Tom's been the best player for some time now, and Shane, of course, is a multiple winner of our events. Great cueist. You've got Ian and John Joe who played brilliant in their group. Brought a big following with them, which helped. They sort of almost like the third man, like in football matches. They have that 12th man. You've obviously then got TJ and Brendan, who played brilliantly. 2 reasonable, I would say, unknowns to myself, but was really impressed with
first time they played Ultimate Pool in any form. It was fabulous the way they played, though.
Yeah, they did. And then obviously myself and Liam, obviously we're good friends. We obviously always fancy getting the job done, and I'm really looking forward to to the week, I suppose. In that one, you know, beating Tom Cousins in any event over the last 3 years is an achievement in itself. So I certainly relish that opportunity, but really looking forward to getting going and playing again and seeing what we can do. But yeah, it's a good tournament, isn't it? It's exciting every week. And
well, while we're talking about that, Chris is trying to make something happen. He's looking for the buzzer beater, and he's left his hardest ball till last on purpose because of the situation. And he is going to turn out and make this a buzzer beater. It's been a brilliant performance from Chris Melling and Tom Ford, but Chris Melling certainly with the biggest moments for the partnership. And they are going to get the win. That is going to make it 3 from 3. And they just add a little bow to it for tonight. They were already safely through to finals night, but they get the job done with 3 wins from 3. We're going to hear from them next.